This film starts right where Spider-Man Far From Home ended. Before dying, Mysterio lied to a news channel, telling everyone that Spider-Man killed him and caused the drone devastation. Along with this, Mysterio also revealed Spider-Man's real identity to everyone. Because of this, the authorities arrest this public figure and interrogate him and his close friends extensively. Additionally, half the city's people were also against Peter because they believed Mysterio was a good man whom Spider-Man had killed. To solve this police case, MJ finally calls a good lawyer named Matt Murdock, who, with great difficulty, gets all the legal charges against Peter and his friends dropped. This saves them from legal action, but the public still hadn't forgiven them. It had even become difficult for Peter to live in his home, so he goes to live in Happy's apartment with Aunt May. Amidst all this, Peter and his friend's school education was about to end, and it was time for their college admissions. But due to the recent controversy, no college was giving them admission. Peter was very troubled by this because his identity being revealed had endangered not only his career but also his friends. So, Peter looks for a solution to this problem, and then he remembers Doctor Strange, as Doctor Strange is a great sorcerer and he lived right in New York City. So, Peter goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum to ask for his help. He asks if he can use his magic to change the events related to Mysterio. But Doctor Strange's spell wasn't the case of the Time's spell, he couldn't change the truth. However, he had another solution for this problem. For this task, he thinks of using a spell that would make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Then Doctor Strange takes Peter to a basement and starts performing his magic. But when he starts reciting the spell, Peter realizes that everyone will forget he is Spider-Man, whereas he wanted a few people to remember. So, he repeatedly interrupts Doctor Strange, asking him to change the spell. Because of this, Doctor Strange's concentration breaks, and the spell goes out of control, starting to affect the entire multiverse. So, Doctor Strange stops the spell midway and contains it. Because the task wasn't completed correctly, no one forgot that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Instead, a new problem arose. Due to Peter's tampering with the spell, people from every universe who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man started arriving in this universe. Since Doctor Strange had stopped the spell midway, only a few people had come, but Peter and his friends didn't know about this yet, so they ignored it and went about their work. After this, Peter goes to meet the administrator of MIT College to get admission for his friends, hoping to talk her into it. But suddenly, a man from a different universe appears there, Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Doc Ock, who had died in his universe while fighting Spider-Man. But due to Doctor Strange's spell, he arrived in this universe just before his death because he knew Peter Parker is Spider-Man. After arriving in this universe, Octavius was a little confused and didn't know he was in a different universe. So, when he sees this universe's Peter in the Spider-Man suit, he mistakes him for his own Spider-Man and starts fighting him. But Peter couldn't understand who this man was or why he was attacking him. Still, he fights him and tries to save the MIT admin. Then Dr. Octopus captures Peter and breaks his Iron Spider suit, absorbing some of its nanoparticles into his own tentacles. This removes Peter's mask, and upon seeing his face, Dr. Octopus understands that this isn't the Spider-Man he knew. During this, Peter realizes he can control the tentacles because his suit had connected to them. So, he takes control of them and saves the MIT admin. She is very happy and agrees to give Peter and his friends admission to the college. After the admin leaves, Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, arrives at that spot. He was from Dr. Octopus's universe and had also died fighting Spider-Man. And because Norman also knew Spider-Man's true identity, he too was pulled here just before his death due to the spell. Then he attacks Peter, but suddenly Doctor Strange brings both of them to the Sanctum Sanctorum. There, Doctor Strange had already captured and imprisoned another villain from a different Spider-Man's universe, Kurt Connors, the Lizard. Then Doctor Strange explains to Peter that due to the messed up spell, many people from the multiverse have come here. As soon as he found out, he immediately went and captured the Lizard. Now he wants to start finding and capturing the others so these multiverse visitors don't cause any trouble here. For this task, Doctor Strange gives Peter a magical web shooter to trap them, while Doctor Strange prepares to reverse the spell to send the visitors back. After this, Peter brings Ned and MJ to the Sanctum so they can help him finish his task quickly. Upon investigating, the three of them find out that there is some strange activity near a power plant outside the city. So, Peter goes there to investigate and encounters Max Dillon, aka Electro, who was from the Lizard universe and had died fighting Spider-Man. Although Electro hadn't seen that Spider-Man's face, he had somehow learned the name Peter Parker, so the spell worked on him too, and he came to this universe. When Peter tries to catch him, Electro starts attacking him. By absorbing energy from the power plant, Electro's power had increased greatly, so he was overpowering Peter. But then Flint Marko, aka Sandman, appears and helps Peter. Sandman was from the Green Goblin and Octopus universe. He was initially Spider-Man's enemy but later became friends with his Peter. Marko didn't know he was in a different universe, so, thinking this Spider-Man was his Peter, he started helping him. Then the two of them fight Electro together, and as soon as Peter cuts the power plant's connection, Electro's power decreases significantly, and he returns to his human form. Then Peter explains to Max and Flint that they have come to a different universe because of him, and he traps them both in the sanctum. Meanwhile, Norman Osborn's goblin persona had calmed down, and he regained his sanity. Norman was confused seeing this new place, but the goblin had understood it was a different world. The goblin tells Norman they should conquer this world, but Norman was already troubled by the weight of his actions, so he panics and runs away. Norman, wandering through the city, ends up at a charitable organization called Feast, where Peter's Aunt May works. When Aunt May meets Norman, she understands from his words that he is one of the people Peter is looking for, so she calls Peter there. Then Norman tells them both about his problem, how the goblin persona takes over him and harms people. Additionally, Aunt May had also found out that the other visitors also had some physical or mental problems. So, she tells Peter that he should cure them before sending them back home, to which Peter agrees. Then he takes Norman to the sanctum. When all the visitors talk amongst themselves, they learn that 3 of the 5, Otto Octavius, Max Dillon, and Kurt Connors, were about to die in their universes but arrived here just before dying. If they are sent back, they will die as soon as they return. So, they all panic, and then Peter also feels that he should help them all. But then Doctor Strange arrives there with a magical box in which he had contained the faulty spell, and he was about to use this box to reverse the spell, which would send all the visitors back to their universes. Peter wanted to save them all, but Doctor Strange believed that the stability of the multiverse was more important. Despite this, Peter snatches the box from him and runs away. Doctor Strange chases him, and to get the box, he takes Peter into the mirror dimension. A long chase ensues between them there, but finally, Peter uses his intelligence to trap Doctor Strange there. Then he takes the box and returns to his world. Peter then tells them all that he can use his technology to cure them so their fate changes when they return. He gives the box to MJ to safeguard. After this, Peter takes all the visitors to Happy's apartment with Ned and MJ's help. Happy's apartment had a fabricator from Stark Industries that ran on the arc reactor and could design anything. Peter wanted to use that machine to make antidotes for everyone. However, Kurt Connors didn't trust Peter's plan, so instead of going inside, he stays in a truck downstairs, waiting for the plan to fail. Meanwhile, Peter uses the fabricator to stabilize Dr. Octopus's chip. This reveals that the inhibitor chip in his tentacles is no longer working, which is why the mechanical arms have dominated his mind, turning him evil. So, Peter makes a new inhibitor chip, and as soon as he installs it into the tentacles, Octavius's mind is fixed, and he becomes a good man again. Then Peter retrieves his nanosuit from the tentacles and frees Octavius. After this, Electro's device is also ready, which Peter attaches to his body. That neutralizer was about to drain all of Electro's power in a few moments. Meanwhile, Peter starts making someone else's antidote, but then he senses danger through his spider sense and finds out that Norman has been taken over by the Goblin again. The Goblin tells Peter he doesn't want to be cured and starts inciting the others. Hearing his words, Electro is also swayed and removes his neutralizer device. Then he takes the arc reactor from the fabricator and runs away. Meanwhile, the Goblin starts fighting Spider-Man. Because of this commotion, Sandman, Dr. Octopus, and Lizard escape. Then a very dangerous fight ensues between the Goblin and Peter, in which the Goblin proves to be stronger and badly injures Spider-Man. Then he tries to kill him, but then Aunt May arrives and tries to inject the Goblin with the antidote. However, the antidote wasn't fully ready, so it didn't work. Then the Goblin calls his glider and attacks Aunt May with it, destroying the place and running away. Due to that attack, Aunt May was severely injured. At her last moment, Peter was filled with regret over his actions, but in the end, she tells him he didn't do anything wrong and he should always help others because with great power comes great responsibility. After saying this, Aunt May dies. Due to the destruction at the scene, police arrive and try to catch Peter, so he runs away. On the other hand, Ned and MJ had found out from the news that Aunt May had died. They were both waiting for Peter, but he was missing for a long time. Then Ned accidentally opens a portal with Doctor Strange's sling ring because Ned had some latent magical talent, allowing him to do this. He then uses the ring to create a totem to find Peter, but through it, they find another Peter Parker, who was the Spider-Man from the Lizard and Electro's universe. Due to Doctor Strange's spell, people from other universes who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man had come here. And because Peter Parker himself knew he was Spider-Man, other universe Spider-Men also came to this universe. Then Ned opens another portal to find their Peter, and through it, they find yet another different Peter, who was the Spider-Man from the Goblin, Octopus, and Sandman's universe. Then Ned and MJ tell both Spider-Men about their Peter's entire problem, making them understand that this Peter needs their help. So, they all search for Peter together and find him sitting on his school roof. He was so grief-stricken that he didn't want to cure anyone and wanted to use the box to send everyone back. But the two Spider-Men explain to him that they too have lost people close to them, so they understand his pain, and he should do what his Aunt May said, with great power comes great responsibility. So, Peter agrees and prepares to kill the 5 visitors. After this, they all go to their school library to carry out their plan. The 3 Peters give each other new names to avoid confusion. This universe's Spider-Man is called Peter 1. The Spider-Man from the Goblin and Sandman universe is called Peter 2. The Spider-Man from the Lizard and Electro universe is called Peter 3. Peter 1 had brought the antidotes for the others from Happy's house, although the devices were a bit broken. So, Peter 3 repairs Electro's device, and Peter 2 and Peter 3 make the cures for the Lizard and Sandman. Because both these Spider-Men had fought these enemies in their own universes, they knew how to cure them. After finishing their work, the 3 Peters decide to confront the villains at the Statue of Liberty. To lure them there, Peter baits them by using a news channel to dangle the magical box as bait, hoping they would come out of fear. Soon, Electro arrives, who had become very powerful due to the arc reactor and glider. He came to destroy the box so he wouldn't be sent back to his universe to die. After this, the Lizard also arrives. He also had the data that he could die if sent back, so he also wanted to destroy the box. Then Sandman also arrives. He also wanted the box, but instead of destroying it, he wanted to use it to return home to see his daughter. But the box could only be activated after curing everyone. Sandman didn't care about the others, he was only worried about himself. To get the box at that time, all 3 of them start fighting the Spider-Men. At first, the 3 Peters can't coordinate properly, but later they work as a team and deal with them one by one. First, Peter 2 uses Sandman's cure on him, turning him back into a human. After this, Peter 1 attacks the Lizard with his serum, curing him too. But all 3 Peters together were unable to handle Electro because he had become too powerful. But then Dr. Octopus arrives, who had now become good. He uses his tentacles to grab Electro and connects him to the grid, then attaches the neutralizer to him, turning Max back into an ordinary human. During this, Ned had accidentally opened a portal, allowing Doctor Strange to escape from the mirror dimension. He is very happy to see that Peter has cured the visitors. But then the Goblin arrives and destroys the magical box with his bomb, releasing the spell. Doctor Strange tries to contain the spell again. Meanwhile, Peter 1 was already very angry with the Goblin for Aunt May's death, so he starts fighting him, trying to kill him. But then Peter 2 arrives and stops him, calming him down a bit. Then Peter 1 uses the remaining serum to cure the Goblin. On the other hand, Doctor Strange cannot control the spell, and it slips from his grasp. This causes many cracks to appear in their universe, opening a path for the multiverse through which countless people who know Peter Parker is Spider-Man are about to enter this universe. Now there was no other way to deal with this trouble. So, Peter tells Doctor Strange to cast a new spell that would make everyone forget who Peter Parker is, meaning the existence of Peter Parker in this universe would be erased, so those people couldn't find him here, and those who had already come would be sent back. Then Doctor Strange uses that spell, and the multiverse cracks begin to close. During this, Peter meets his friends for the last time and also meets both the other Spider-Men, thanking them. As soon as the spell is complete, all the visitors and the 2 Spider-Men return to their respective universes, and everyone in this world forgets who Peter Parker is. But no one forgot Spider-Man, they just didn't know Spider-Man's true identity. A few weeks later, Peter goes to meet his friends. He went there to tell them his true identity and about the events, but when he sees that his friends have gotten into MIT and are happy even without him, he doesn't tell them anything, fearing he might get them into trouble again. So, Peter leaves and starts his new life in a rented apartment. Now, instead of Stark Industries' advanced suit, he starts fulfilling his duty as Spider-Man wearing a simple suit he made himself. In the mid-credit scene, we see Eddie Brock, Venom, who was from another universe and had also come here because of Doctor Strange's spell. This happened because at that time, Venom was connected to the symbiote hive mind, which had knowledge of many universes, and it knew that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Therefore, the spell worked on him too, and because he was connected to Venom, Eddie came to this universe. But instead of New York City, he ended up in Mexico, so he didn't meet Spider-Man. Later, when Doctor Strange cast the new spell, Eddie returned to his universe. But after he left, a small piece of the Venom symbiote remained in this universe. In the post-credits scene, a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is shown, where the bad consequences of Doctor Strange's mistakes come before him. So friends, this was the explanation video for Spider-Man: No Way Home. If you liked this video, please like and share it. And to watch such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and press that bell icon so you can get my videos on time. See you in the next video.